What is going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today on the West Ham unofficial YouTube channel, we do have a big talk about football, episode 4. It's going to be a great night, and this is the fourth week I've done this. This is the fourth week I've done this running. We've got a couple of guests coming on very shortly. But just before I do that, I'd like to say a huge thank you to SRM Construction for your help this week. Thank you very much. But I'd just like to say before we bring them on Monday night on this channel, I do have a man called Neil Taylor, who runs Long Live the Bowling, coming on for a chat Monday at 7 p.m. So I just thought I'd get that out there. And we're going to bring on our first couple of guests now. We've got Dom, who's an Arsenal fan, and Steve, who is a Chelsea fan. How are we tonight?
Yeah, all good, thanks.
Hiya.
Yeah, good, thanks, Jack.
Dom, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So Dom, coming to you first, obviously an Arsenal fan. How did you become an Arsenal fan for you?
Well, it was when I was about 4 years old. I watched Match of the Day, and Ian Wright was playing, so I just became a fan of Ian Wright, really. And he played for Arsenal and scored lots of goals, so I wanted to be like him and be a striker. And yeah, that's it, really. Ian Wright.
Yeah, well, obviously, a great player he was. It's interesting having loads of guests come on and their different stories. We've had loads of different stories, which are really interesting. Really, what's your favourite memory as a Arsenal fan?
It's got to be the Invincible season, because watching your team go unbeaten the whole season and win the league can't really be topped. But hopefully, one day it will be topped, and we can win the league again. But at the moment, it's not looking great, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll come on to that in a moment. But Steve, coming to you. Chelsea have had a great start to the season domestically in terms of the Champions League and the Premier League. Who do you think's been the best player for Chelsea so far this season?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because it's a bit of a strange season for us, really, because if you look at the team, there's so many new players. Let alone the beginning of last season when all the youngsters were brought in, and we had the transfer embargo and all that sort of stuff. But this season has been a complete shift in the way the teams had to work together. And I think the first half a dozen games were perhaps disjointed, not particularly good. Some of the big stars didn't settle in very well. So the consistent performer, I believe, has been Mason Mount. And you've got to remember, he's 19, 20, 21 years old, and he's just holding the team together with people that have been brought in for millions and millions and millions of pounds. And he's really the gel that's holding the whole thing together at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much the same in terms of West Ham with Declan Rice at the moment. Obviously, bringing players in. He is the rock. Him and Souček in the middle for me for West Ham have been the rock for the biggest rock I think we've had, the most solid defence we've had, solid midfield, for a long time. For Chelsea, do you think is Champions League a big focus this season, or are you as a fan more worried about the Premier League?
If you're playing for or managing a club owned by Abramovich, the Champions League is always going to be the focus, because that's what floats his boat, or his super yacht, I should say. So it has to be a priority. I still believe that we're not a complete unit yet. We've got a long way to go before we. I still sit and watch games and think, are we going to win this? Are we able to score? And then last night we go and beat Sevilla 4-0 away, and you think everything's roses. So I think the problem with us at the moment is the inconsistency, and that may hamper us in the Champions League. But if anybody's got any illusions that it's not important for Chelsea in the Champions League, then they're sorely mistaken. I'd like to think we'd make the semis at least.
Yeah, well, consistency, I see you've nodding there, Dom, bit of confidence from a Chelsea fan there. But consistency is a big thing in football, really, isn't it? Dom, coming to you, Arsenal, they suffer a lot from inconsistency. Do you think that they really need to get that sorted out, do you think?
Personally, I think Arteta needs to figure out his starting 11 and actually stick with it, not keep changing it every 5 minutes, because when you have 7 defenders that are playing every couple of days. You need to have a rock at the back, and then you need your strong midfield, and you need your attackers to start banging in some goals. But at the moment, we're lacking all of it, so it's not great. But yeah, we are very inconsistent. But when we do play well, you look solid. But it's just not happening very often.
I think the thing is that it goes back to that age-old thing, and you can go back to Bill Shankly, you can go back to whichever manager you choose, Matt Busby. You've got to have the spine of the team, and if you've got a goalkeeper, centre half, centre midfield, centre forward, and those 4 players are relatively consistent, the other 7 you move around and you drop them off and bring them in, especially if you've got lots of games. And unfortunately, what teams are tending to do now, I believe, is that we'll go, oh, we've got this 11 to play on a Wednesday, and we've got that 11 to play on a Friday. And of course, that never met that 11 almost, and it looks like 2 separate clubs, let alone 2 separate teams a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think part of it is the trouble with pressure and results and all that sort of stuff. And managers know they've got to get results, so it's more difficult, shall we say?
Yeah, well, I think definitely, obviously, not as an Arsenal fan and just looking at some of the lineup sometimes, I think there is a lot of changing. Obviously, Arsenal have got a lot of young players like Saka and all of these players, but there definitely isn't, for me, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but do you see one, apart from the goalkeeper, is there one solid player, apart from probably Aubameyang as well, that's in the team every game and you think that's going to put a solid performance in, do you think?
I think Xhaka, he plays really well most weeks, but he has got that tendency to make a mistake, which normally gets punished. But he's the one that I would say. But what we need creativity. We always used to have Jack Wilshere's, Mesut Ozil, people that could create a chance. Yeah. Now there's nothing going forward. It's going back 10 paces. It's just, personally, I would bring Ozil back in January. I think a lot of Arsenal fans would like that. I don't think it will happen personally, but if it was me, I would definitely bring someone back in that could create for the up front people, really, to try and get some goals. But at the moment, we're lacking a lot of it.
Yeah. Turning to Arteta and your form this season, I don't think Aubameyang has helped the situation at all. But do you really think Arteta is the way forward, considering that this is Arsenal's worst start since 1981?
He's got potential. That's the thing. I would say potential. A lot of fans do like him. But like Steve said, he needs to get results now, because otherwise fans might turn against him in the long run. But I think he's the right man for the job. Will he get given time? I think so. But he needs to have another couple of transfer windows, bring in a few more players that he wants at the club. And I think eventually we can challenge again for top 4 and that sort of stuff, really. Going for the league, I don't think for a few years yet we're going to be anywhere close. But if we can get top 4 and maybe win another cup, that would be successful, I think, now. But
Arsenal have got the advantage of that they generally give their managers time. You know, I know Emery didn't last all that long, but I believe that he came in promising a lot and delivering little from an outside point of view. But if you look back, Arsenal over the years have always given their managers time. They're a bit Man U-esque in that respect. So from I think that's the one thing that's on your side, is that he's a young manager. He'll be given time. You know, I'd like to be able to say the same about Frank, but I'm not completely convinced, because we know that Roman's got a bit of a trigger finger. You know, I'd like to think he's given time, because I think clubs have got to start building dynasties, and they've got to start building consistency from the base up. They've got to start building, a base where, the old Liverpool days, where when a manager retired, the guy from the boot room took over because he knew exactly what was going, and it was all this, it was seamless and continuity.
Yeah.
So Arsenal will give him time, I think.
Yeah, we've got a comment here from Kent Hammers. Saka has been Arsenal's best player this season. I think young, productive, top young English player. Do you agree with that, Dom?
Yeah, he has been fantastic. Even last season, he was great towards the end. But like Steve was saying, he's only 19. He can't have all the games on his shoulders, sort of thing. He can do what he can, but he needs the senior players to work around him and help him through the season. But no, he's fantastic, and hopefully he can stay fit and keep pushing for England and Arsenal. So it'll be good.
Yeah. We've got
it's a bit like the Mason.
No,
I was going to say it's like Mason Mount syndrome. That Mason Mount is there. He's young. He's English, and he could be on his own. But fortunately, he's got the likes of Conte and Kovacic around him, which actually take a little bit of pressure off him, allow him to play his football. And I think that's probably where the Arsenal bit is missing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Commenting from Brian Archer from West Ham Fan TV. Keep up the good work, Jake. Thank you, Ryan. But before we do go any further, we've got an Aston Villa fan coming on now. We did play at the weekend, and I'm sure we'll get onto that. But we've got Graham. Graham, how are you tonight?
Hiya, Jake. How you doing? All good, thanks. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Before I come to you though, Steve, just a last question for you. You're playing Leeds at the weekend. They've had a great start to the season. What's your prediction for that game?
It's quite a difficult one to call, I think, because Leeds are a tough side to play against under Bielsa, because they just seem to have the ability to run as fast in the 89th minute and cover as much ground as they did in the first minute. So you've got to give Leeds credit for what they've done and where they are, etc. I think it'd be interesting that we're going to have 2,000 fans come in this weekend. I think, and none can be Leeds fans because they're not allowed away fans because Leeds are in tier 3 anyway. So I think that'll be interesting. I think Chelsea will edge it, but I think it could be only the odd goal in 5 even or something like that. I think our defence has tightened up. I think Leeds are always likely to score. A game where Leeds don't score, it's unusual.
Yeah. Graham, coming to you, how did you become a Villa fan as you are today?
Family. I'm from Birmingham originally. My great granddad was a Villa fan when they started off, and then my granddad, and then my dad, and then me, and then my son. He's a Villa fan as well. So it's you're chosen. I think, aren't you? You're born into it.
Yeah, definitely. That's like a lot of people. What's your favourite memory? Being a Villa fan, what's your favourite memory?
I got a few. My first game was 1980, so that wasn't a bad season to be born into it. That was a pretty good year going to see that. Although the game I went to was a boring draw against Stoke. 1990. There was a bunch of us went from school, so that was quite good. The parents said, right, off you go. So as 15-year-olds, we all went to watch a match, and that was quite good. We beat Luton 2-1, Tony Daly and David Platt. But I think the best one was a couple of years back. I managed to get a box from my dad, and he's very poorly now. So me, my son and my dad and my knackered old car went to Villa Park, and we met all the players, and Jack Grealish kind of ignored all the kids and came to us and all of that, So as well as a diver, he's a very nice man,
Dom, coming to you. I'm going to talk to you all about this. Steve mentioned it there. It's about fans coming back into the stadiums. It depends what tier you're in, but most people in 2 or 3 and tier 2, 2,000 fans allowed in the stadiums. With big stadiums like we have 60,000 odd. Do you think it will really make a difference, Dom? And are you all for it?
I'm definitely all for it. I think Arsenal have got 2,000 tonight, I think, for their Europa League game. So that'll be interesting to watch that later. I think it's a great stepping stone. At least we can get some fans in. I know 2,000 doesn't sound a lot in a 60,000 stadium, but it's a start. So hopefully the teams in tier 2 this weekend and this week can enjoy a few fans being in there. And hopefully they'll be able to make a little bit of noise and cheer us to victory. But yeah, it's definitely a good stepping stone.
You kind of hope that the 2,000 fans that are allowed in will get the decent seats, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Not shoved behind some pillar in the corner.
Just touching on that, Dom, 60,000 Arsenal fans can't make an atmosphere. Do you really think 2,000 fans are going to make one, do you think?
Well, hopefully it'll be better than it has been the last few weeks, because our home form is pretty shocking. So hopefully tonight we can get a result, and then we can beat Spurs on Sunday, and that'll be a great weekend. But we will see.
Yeah, well, what a game that is to our fans back in the North London derby, isn't it?
It's a great game. Hopefully, well, it's just a shame for us that the away fans can't be there. But hopefully, we can get a result and beat them, and that'll hopefully kickstart our season. But you never know.
Graham, what's your thoughts on that? Obviously, Villa Park, not so slightly a big stadium, but I don't know what tier you're in. You're in the situation. What's the kind of situation? And are you all for the fans coming back?
Yeah. Well, I'm living in Cornwall, so I'm in tier 1, so I'm in a pub at the minute, boys. So all the best.
Oh, dear.
I know, great, isn't it? Yeah, there's 45,000 allowed in the Villa, so it's not too bad. We've got one of the best old stadiums, put it that way. I don't know. I find it a little bit. I don't know. The Spurs game, you can only have. I'm sorry, boys. I'm not quite sure where the Arsenal Spurs game is this weekend. But if you've only got 2,000 home supporters, then surely you should have 1,500 home supporters and 500 away. Just create some kind of atmosphere to it. I'm not keen on this. You're in tier 3, you can't go. You're in tier 2, you can go. It seems a bit more home advantage than what you can get. I mean, like I say, I'm from Birmingham originally, and I've got lots of mates who are Man City fans, Liverpool fans, and just because you don't live in a postcode, don't mean to say you can't support them. So
yeah,
it's a bit of a shame for those guys,
Yeah, well, it's a big puzzle that they've had to solve, and they've done it this way. I think they could have put some away fans in, but that's what they've done at the end of the day. I think we've got to be I think we've got to be optimistic of what we've got, and hopefully grow into next season and have some sort of full capacity back. Steve, you touched on it, but what's your thoughts on that? Do you think?
It's really difficult because some of these mega stadiums, the 60,000 seater stadiums and all the rest of it, they're going to seem like you're rattling around in a 5-bedroom house with one person in it, sort of thing, which is going to be odd. But I think the 2,000 that get there, if they position them correctly within the stadium, and they obviously try and manage the social distancing, keep them reasonably close together in the fact that they're all in one area of the stadium, at least you get some sort of atmosphere. I know some of the bigger clubs have tried, putting on artificial sound and all the rest of it. But it's like everything else with this crisis, in this pandemic. We've got to take baby steps in order to be able to walk again, let alone run. And if we do baby steps, you get the impression that everything would fall over. Because with the greatest respect to everybody on this call, football fans aren't renowned around the world for being the most compliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the last question to you, Dom. What is your prediction for the North London derby for Sunday?
My prediction, or what I think will happen? I think, personally, on our performances lately, I think we could struggle, but I'm hoping we can sneak a 1-0 win. But yeah, it'll be a tough one. It all depends if Harry Kane's fit. If Harry Kane's not fit, we have a chance. If he's fit, I could see they might sneak it, but I'm optimistic. Hopefully, we'll get a 1-0 win.
Yeah. Steve, Dom, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you'd like to hop off, that would be great. You could. You've got the link. If you'd like to jump back on, that would be great. Thank you, Dom and Steve.
Thanks,
thank you very much.
Okay. Cheers, Jake. Cheers, Graham. Cheers, Dom.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
Cheers, Steve.
We've got a couple more fans coming on now. We've got Ollie, who is a Liverpool fan, and we've got another Arsenal fan, Teresa. How are you? Teresa and Ollie, how are you?
I'm very well, Jake. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Teresa, how are you?
Good lad.
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Good. Ollie, coming to you first. Last weekend, you only took a point off Brighton. Were you disappointed with that result?
It felt like a loss. It was that disappointing. And I'm sure as you probably know, especially when you lose at the end of a game, even if it's only a point, 2 points you drop, it feels like a loss. I also thought it was a very, very harsh penalty as well, really. I thought that Welbeck's foot was going away from the ball, and he didn't even get anywhere near it after Robert just clipped his foot. So I thought we were very hard done by. Yeah, really.
Jurgen Klopp was in the middle of a very incidental interview with the BT Sport man. He was kind of talking about the fixture schedule and how he's blaming the Premier League. Do you agree with what he's saying, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's making a very good point about games are too close together and they're playing too many. You got to remember, at the end of the day, we're all human. They are playing too much, way too much. They're not getting enough rest time, which is why injuries will come in, especially when there's not enough rest time in there. But I think he probably did it in the wrong manner. I don't think he should have had a go at the broadcaster in the way he did. He should have done it in a different way. But I think at least he's getting the point across. Yeah, so that's the main thing. Yeah.
Teresa, coming to you, you're an Arsenal fan. How did you become an Arsenal fan?
I became an Arsenal fan in 1971 when I watched Arsenal beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final 2-1, and they did the double that year. So coming up 50 years, I've been an Arsenal fan.
Wow.
I can't remember that.
It was good. It was good.
In your 50 years of being an Arsenal fan, then what's your favourite memory?
Well, I think obviously there's got to be two. There's many, but I've whittled it down to two. Obviously, watching that FA Cup final and going to extra time and getting a goal in the dying seconds of extra time and doing the double. And then obviously the Invincible year. I mean, what a team, what a performance. Arsene Wenger. You've got Henry, you've got Vieira, Perez, Bergkamp, Freddie Ljungberg, Campbell. They're just brilliant players. And, that year, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Graham's joined us again. I'd like to turn your attention, unfortunately, to Saturday or Sunday's game. I'm going to finish West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. What is your thoughts on your performance as a Villa side and VAR's performance?
Well, firstly, out of the four of us on this screen, who actually thought that the Villa would only lose to West Ham? I mean, come on. But we played really well, really well. And fair play to West Ham for taking the chances, two decent chances, easy chances, and you took them. You didn't do much else apart from that. But, if you get a couple of goals, it's all about putting it back of the onion net, isn't it? And you've done that, which is the thing you got to do. I was a bit disappointed with Grealish doing a bit of diving, but I thought the ref was really poor. You can blame all the VAR, and the officials and all that, and he was poor. VAR was just diabolical at the end. Whether it was offside or not is, they said it was, but there was a foul in the build up to it. But it's all excuses, isn't it? You put the ball into the back of the net twice, we put it in there once, and you win. That's fair play to you.
Yeah, well, I still haven't decided what the hell was going on with that offside.
Crazy.
I don't know what was offside. I don't think anybody knew what it was. But yeah, I just think as you said, the rest of the performance just West Ham spectators to hear a Aston Villa fan say that he wasn't the best as well. I thought, I agree.
Yeah, diabolical. But it happens.
You beat Ajax in the week. Does that give you confidence as a fan that you're going to go on and beat Wolves at the weekend?
Not entirely. I think Liverpool have been scraping through games recently. They're not, like I said to you, they're not playing vintage Liverpool football like we've been used to seeing the last few seasons. But I think they'll win it. I think they're going to win it. If I had to put money on, I think they will. Yeah, they've still got a really strong squad, Liverpool, and they seem to be doing enough to get through these games. So yeah, I'm confident they'll win.
Yeah. Graham, thank you very much for joining me again tonight. If you'd like to pop off, I've got one if you want, but thanks for coming on tonight.
No worries. All the best, Jake. You're doing a great job, and all the best to the lot of you for the rest of the season. All right.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
And now I did have a picture, but it's not working. We've got a very special guest coming on now. He runs his own YouTube channel. And I've had the pleasure of going on there myself. It's Ross from My Hammers 11. Ross, how are you?
I was waiting for someone else. I was waiting for someone else for the introduction. I thought you were going to get someone good on, Jake. How are you, mate? You all right?
How are you? You okay?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well indeed.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
Obviously go over to My Hammers 11, hit that subscribe button. Great channel. Just on that. You've interviewed hundreds of guests so far. Like Harry Redknapp, Ray Winston, all of them people. What's it like just to be at the other end of those people?
Well, they're just, you know, I mean, guys like that, they're just, I mean, everyone really, doesn't matter who we have on the channel, whether it's an ex-player or whether it's a fan, you know, it's all about West Ham and it's all about, you know, experiences. So just because their name, just because, you know, I don't know, they're Ray Winston or just, you know, or it doesn't matter, you know, it's all about West Ham. And so, to be honest, everyone we've had, I mean, we've almost had almost 250 guests since lockdown, the first lockdown, and everyone's been brilliant. Everyone's got a story to tell, a memory, and that's what it's all about. You know, football is all about opinions, isn't it? All about memories. And you know, it's not necessarily, obviously, from being a West Ham fan, it's not necessarily about the victory. It's not necessarily about winning the games, but it's about the stories. And so I love it. I love it. It gives me an excuse every day, every night to toddle off down to my garage and talk to someone about football for an hour. So don't seem like a bad thing to me, to be honest.
Yeah, very good. Sounds like very good. Obviously, with my YouTube channel, it's a great thing to do, and a great, just an overall great thing to do. Teresa, coming to you, as I said, you're an Arsenal fan. I asked our other Arsenal fan this. Is Arteta the way forward for you? As this is the worst start to the season you've had for over 40 years.
Yeah, definitely. I think he is, because he's got Arsenal running through his blood. He's played in the team. He's an intelligent man. He's done his training under Pep. He's a great coach. We all agree on that, I'm sure. And I think in this day and age, everybody expects everything instant, quick. And if you look back at when Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, and even indeed when Pep came to City, you know, a few teething problems, even when the great Alex Ferguson, did I say great? You know, came to Man United, he got off to a sluggish start. You have to give, particularly as Arsene was there for 22 years, you have to be patient and have to have time. So, yes, I think he is the right man for the job. I think a lot of our Arsenal fans are unhappy that Stan Kroenke, American, is now 100% in charge of the club. That doesn't sit happily with a lot of older Arsenal fans. But as long as Mikel can be allowed to take the club forward in the way in which he wants to, I think we've got to be patient. I mean, let's face it, who else would you know, is out there that would do it? I think give him time. I don't think we're going to get relegated. I don't think we're going to get into Europe. But it's a building process, and patience is the watchword. Yeah.
100%.
Just to follow up on that, for you, Ollie, before I let you go, do you think Jurgen Klopp, it's a difficult subject, I think, but do you think that he is the way forward for the next kind of 5 or so years? Do you think that he's the man that needs to stay there?
Yeah, I think he's great, isn't he? I think he's been brilliant since he's come in. He hasn't really put a foot wrong since that interview really the other day, didn't he? I think he got done in that interview. He was better out of order saying what he did, but Yeah, I think he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's such an intelligent man as well. He doesn't have to go and spend like massive money on big name players. He just gets average good players and turns them into great footballers, really, which is not what every manager does. In the way that he actually does it. So I'd like to say, hopefully he can get a new contract for another 4 or 5 years. Be great.
Yeah. Very good. Ollie, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
No problem.
If you can pop off, mate, that'll be thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Come on, you irons. I'll see you soon, Jake. Bye.
We just got a comment here from Ben Glander, West Ham official. When you can check your Instagram, I have my team's training been put back an hour. Apologies, I can't make it. Thanks, Ben. I have seen your message. Let's hope we can. Let's hope you can come on soon. No worries, mate. Russ, coming back to you. Going back to the start as a West Ham fan, how did you become a West Ham fan?
So same as you, I think, Jake, when we interviewed you, didn't really have a choice, really. Both sides of my family support West Ham. So my mum's side, my dad's side, and I think there's a family story that it was like a great granddad somewhere was a coach for the Thames Ironworks before they became a professional side. And so I've always, I mean, I'll be honest, there was a time when I was wavering a little bit when I was very young, because obviously West Ham were winning and Liverpool were winning at that time, but then I got it slapped out of me and saw the light. And obviously, look what he got me. You know what I mean? How many Liverpool won the title? They've won the Champions League, and we've won, Intertoto Cup and the Betway Cup once. So so who's laughing now, Jurgen? Exactly. You know what I mean? So no, yeah, just one of those. Yeah, I didn't really have a choice at all, to be honest, Jake.
Yeah, same as me, as you said. Teresa, before I let you go, can we have a quick prediction for the North London derby for Sunday, Arsenal v Tottenham?
Well, if Mike Dean's reffing, we stand no chance. But I think we won't let it go. It's such a calendar event. I think it will be a draw. I think it will be a score draw, but other than that, 1-1 maybe.
Yeah, very good. Teresa, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you'd like to pop off, that would be great. You've got the link to come back on if you'd like.
Okay, thanks ever so much, Jake. And I do have a soft spot for West Ham because I did used to go out with a guy who supported West Ham many years ago. So big ups the Hammers. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Right, that's it. Come, let's talk proper stuff now. Let's talk about proper football now, Jake. Come on.
Just leading off on that. We as West Ham fans, our big rivalry is Spurs. If it's not, obviously, we don't play often. Do you think it's us whenever we're not playing so well, we always turn up against Spurs, don't we?
Of course we do. And it doesn't matter where they go. I mean, bless Teresa. There's no way Arsenal will get a draw. Tottenham are playing too well at the moment, but it's okay because they've got to come to London Stadium, don't they, Jake? And we know we'll stick our oar in and make sure they don't win the title. But yeah. I mean, we always turn up, don't we? But I mean, this year's a bit different. I think it's not just the Tottenham games or the Man United games we turn up for. It's the Fulham, Aston Villa games and Sheffield United, which is really different for us. So it's all good. It's all I'm a happy hammer at the moment, so enjoying it. Yeah, I think we should enjoy it. Mate, because I think too often we're always West Ham fans. We're hardened, and we're always waiting for that bump in the road. That Burnley 3-0 loss. We know it's coming, but just enjoy the fact that we're in the top bit of the league. So enjoy it while it lasts, mate.
I like your joke about the nosebleed on your show the other day. We're higher. We're there.
I'm not used to this altitude. I've been sick, altitude sickness. I've had migraines and nosebleeds, and who knows? On Saturday we could end up going a lot higher. We could be third, I believe, if we win on Saturday. So
I was looking. Yeah, let's bring some more West Ham spirit in. Now we've got another West Ham fan coming on. Nick, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Jake. How you doing, Russ?
Hello, mate.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Before I do come to you, Though, Nick, just another question for you. You do a lot at the London Stadium with the bubbles machine and all of that stuff. That's your job. What was it like? Obviously, we've got fans coming back in now. What was it like going to the games and just being there without fans there? What was it like?
Yes, so it's really weird. So obviously, so during match days, I play the music there. So and we've kept that going since for the last, I think it's 13 games. We haven't had fans in, and it is weird. I won't lie, it's been nice in terms of transport because I've had a car park space, and for 19 years I've never had a car park space, so that was nice. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you can hear. And actually, is another sort of good point is that not good point, but another is I get to go to the toilet at half time, which doesn't usually happen when there's everyone in there, because we usually have a halftime game or all the music and the scores and stuff. So that's quite nice. But yeah, it's weird. It's very strange. It's hearing, you can hear that. Obviously I'm in my box, but when I sort of pop my head out, I can hear the players shouting from the other side of the stadium. I can hear the journalists typing, and even if it's 2,000, it's a start, isn't it? And I'm really excited for Saturday, because I think it's great. We're going to be the first club in the Premier League to welcome fans back in the Premier League. Obviously, Arsenal can do it for the Europa League, and I think Reading have got a game on at 12 o'clock. But we're the first ones in the Premier League, so it's a big thing. It's a bigger thing, I think, than we think it is, to be honest.
Yeah, when I came on your show, you kind of like mentioned you can hear just the just the different accents, and kind of Declan Rice, the main one, kind of shouting at the players. It must be really immense to hear that.
Yeah, I heard a few accents at a few choice words at Aston Villa, the Aston Villa game. For those of you I didn't need the lip reading from Dean Smith, but yeah, it gives you a new perspective. And I'm obviously even when I'm watching the away games, I always watch it now with the crowd noise off, because I just think you get a lot more into like the pure football. Who shouts? Who's the one organising? And we've got a really noisy bench. We've got obviously Moyes, you've got Kevin Nolan, you've got you've got all them, Stuart Pearce, you got Alan Irvine, you got Dave Billows, the new one, the one he got booked. So it was it's funny, and you can hear. So yeah, we heard a choice conversation between John Terry and Dave Billows, which involved Mr. Terry offering Dave Billows out for a fight in the tunnel, to which Dave Billows went, anytime, mate, anytime. So no, it gives you a new perspective of the game. But I miss it. I miss the fans. I miss hearing like bubbles being sung properly rather than fake. We've got the fake crowd noise in, so it's hopefully it's a start, isn't it? It's 2000. It's gonna be weird, but it's a start, I think, for us.
Yeah. We're going West Ham crazy now. Nick, we've got
that's it.
Hey,
Tom, how are you?
all right, Jake. Yeah, fine, thanks, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Nick, coming to you. Let's talk about this season, because we're up high. We're in 5th. West Ham are happily sitting 5th. How much longer do you guys think that we can continue this amazing streak for, and how long do you think we can stay as high as we can?
Yeah, Jake, realistically, I don't think we're going to be 5th come the end of the season, but if we can float between there and
I've downloaded the Champions League music for next year.
Yeah, no, I love hearing that. But we've had a really tough start to the season as well. So we've been doing so well. Really, really pleased with boys and how they performed and stepped up. Really, so those tough games. Take a lot of confidence from some of those results, even like draw at Man City, etc. Fantastic. So yeah, I reckon we could stay top half for as long as possible. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, the sky's the limit, I think. Tom, coming to you. We've had these in the last 3 games. We haven't played our best. That's an understatement, I think. But we've still got 3 points every single time. Is that a very good sign for you that we're going to do well this season?
Mate, it's very positive. Like West Ham in recent years, or over the years, like that game on Monday night, we all said at half time, typical West Ham would be losers 3-1. And we obviously scraped through and defended really well. So these 3 results in November, 3 games, 3 wins. So surely Moyes got to get manager of the month.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very, very positive, mate. Like I say, none of the performances were brilliant, were they? we just did enough. The confidence is there within the boys. The spirit's so high, and they're just playing for each other, playing for the club, playing for the manager, and it's been great to see, isn't it, mate?
It is definitely. I'm going to ask this question to all of you. But Russ, coming to you first. We saw on the introduction of Benrahma and Haller against Villa. Do you think those two should be starting at the weekend?
Do you know what? I'll be honest and say no, and I'll tell you for why. Because Antonio, I mean, you obviously read today that he's going to start, but that's the rumor.
Yeah.
But I think with Antonio, it was the wrong game for him to go back to. Villa have got Mings and Zora, the other centre back. They're both athletic. They're both, new school defenders. Now, obviously, on Man United, he's going to be up against the oil tanker that is Harry and Lindelof, and you can imagine he would have an absolute field day. Balls over the top, pace coming through. Maybe Benrahma and Antonio. But we know it's. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Haller's going to start on Saturday. But I'd love to see Antonio given a proper run, because it was the wrong game from the Villa game. But it's cool, isn't it? The fact that we've got these, strikers. They're both scoring. We've got these options. It was really ballsy from Moyes on Monday to go back to a back four and sort of play three up, kinda. It's great. I love it. I love the fact we've got these options now.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a great kind of thing for West Ham at the moment, isn't it? I totally agree with you. The kind of decision to play Antonio. I was just about to go on United, and I was absolutely shocked when I saw Antonio was in the starting 11. I agree, it wasn't the right decision for me. And I went back on there at halftime and said he won't make subs. I come off 30 seconds later, he's made 2 subs. What an instant impact that made with Benrahma coming on. I thought they both had a great game. Nick, what's your thoughts on that? Benrahma and Haller starting for you?
I was actually thinking about this just earlier, and Antonio suddenly a couple of games he'll be up to speed. Who does Moyes play? Does he play Haller and Antonio at some point? I mean, I think he's got to give it a go.
Puzzle, it really is.
It's very interesting. We've got Lanzini, Benrahma, Fornals. They all can play that little number 10 role. So, yeah, why not give Benrahma a go? I mean, it's just great, like Russ said, that we've got these options, and it's going to pay off later on in the season when we get the odd injury. So, yeah, I'd be more than happy to see Haller, Benrahma out there, mate. Yep, I'd say that.
Yeah. Who would you take out the starting level for Benrahma? Because Moyes took off Masuaku, but I don't really think we can afford to take him off. I know he doesn't. He's not great defensively, but he does offer that. Whereas I don't think Benrahma's really got that in him. What would you do? For you, what would you do if you would start Benrahma?
I think Fornals could do a rest, to be honest, mate. Yeah, give him some time on the bench and just try Lanzini or Benrahma. Fornals hasn't done poorly, just hasn't been able to influence the last few games, and maybe just needs a little rest for a bit.
Yeah. Same question to you, Tom. What's your thoughts, Benrahma and Haller, or?
I think they'll go back to the 5 at back, the wing backs on Saturday against Man United, especially with their pace. You see, I don't know if you watched our game last night against PSG, but the PSG got a top defence, and their Man United's pace were causing them many problems. So I think you go back to the wing backs. I think it would be harsh to give Fornals drop him, give him a break. But there's a lot of games coming up, so I would be definitely inclined to start Benrahma in Fornals' position. And then I think Haller, how well he played when he came on, mate, I was really impressed with the effort.
Yeah, I
think I would start Haller as well.
Yeah.
But I was just Antonio's fitness concerned me, like that ball over the top from Creswell. It was a big decision to start him, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
We'll see in the coming weeks how fit he is, I guess, Jake.
Yeah, we will. Just the games we've got, obviously, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 games in December. there's got to be squad rotation there, and I think we do have
Definitely.
squad rotation go up front and on the wings, but it really does it kind of worries me with the lack of kind of depth in midfield. I think we've got Souček and Rice who
Definitely.
are absolutely fantastic there, but I just worry if one of them gets injured, who's there? There's Mark Noble, bless him, but there just isn't anyone else there, is there?
No, Snodgrass, perhaps, Jake.
Yeah.
Could do a job in there, but not obviously not his natural position. But
No, it's not.
I mean, Mr. West Ham will be fine against, the lower teams, but yeah, he may get found out against the bigger boys. So yeah, could happen, mate. Could happen.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a big puzzle, really, isn't it? And I think they've got to have a rest in there somewhere, haven't they? Haven't they? Because both of them have got international as well. They both play for their international squad. I know there isn't any international breaks again till March, but the toll's gonna take on them. The toll's gonna take, really, isn't it? Do you think, Russ? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that I mean there is other options. As we mentioned Snoddy, we've got Conor Coventry, and yeah, but it's the area which I think we need to look into somehow strengthening somehow somewhere. We rely on, I mean, not being funny, Deck played every minute of every game last season. I think one of only 4 people ever to do that, or to do it last season, something like that. So we rely heavily on him. As we said, I mean, don't forget also, everyone wants us to have a go at the cup as well, and I don't think we've got a strong enough squad to be able to do that just yet. And so we'll see when. Go on, Jake. You say, man.
I think we're looking to sign Josh King in the January transfer window. I think we really need to focus on getting a backup midfielder. If we get another if we get King and a backup midfielder, that would be happy days. But I don't know whether that's possible. I don't know whether there's
there's a guy called Jack Wiltshire. I've heard about him. And he seems to be doing loads of training in Dubai. He looks quite tasty. So but there's
Very tasty,
yeah. So I think you're right. I think you need a midfielder and a central midfielder and a striker, just because we know it all sort of. If Moyes is playing this system, then he needs people to play it, and obviously he can't put square pegs around circles or whatever it is, which is what he's doing with Haller at the moment when he plays that sort of 3 with the wing back. So it's interesting, isn't it? Just wait and see, innit?
I think if we stay high enough up in the league from now, Moyes obviously won't have any concerns over relegation and just say, come on, let's go for it in the cups then.
Yeah, that's the idea, I think.
The
Carabao's too early on. It's in September when we're all like, everyone's, unless you're Man City or Liverpool, you've got you're trying to get points, and you're worried about relegation and stuff like that. So that's why they always tend to win it. Where come January, you know what your season's going to be like, really, don't you? It's like, particularly as you said, with 6 games. I mean, God forbid we could get 18 points, and we're almost safe then. But by the time we won't, but you know what I mean. So, then you can sort of assess your season from then on. Bar complete, obviously, catastrophe. But we'll see. I mean, it's exciting for once, isn't it? It's exciting.
Right. We've got to enjoy it, haven't we? We have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Russ, as Dad said, you've got your My Hammer's Greats tonight with Trevor Sinclair. Can't wait to watch that. You've got Brian from West Ham Fan TV and Anton from Irons United coming on. That's going to be a great watch tonight. Yeah, it's good. There'll be lots of clips with Trev of Trev's goals and stuff like that, and Martin Godliman, who's the announcer at West Ham. He's the one who so me and Martin with Ryan Archer and Anton Baker. So it's a good laugh, and we talk about Trev, and everyone can send their comments in, and it's about it's a good laugh. We've done before. We did one for Steve Potts, we've done one for Johnny Artson, we're doing Trev, and I think next week we're going to do Ludo. So just to it's like This Is Your Life. You remember This Is Your Life, Jake, but it's like This Is Your Life but for West Ham. So
brilliant.
Awesome.
I like Trev.
Before we wrap this up tonight, we've got Man United at the weekend. Russ, we'll start with you. What's your prediction?
2-0 West Ham.
Confident.
Very confident. We're 5th in the league, that
Yeah. Obviously, with the news that Rashford perhaps
Yes.
had an injury as well, that could definitely that must bring in Cavani. I think Fernandes and Cavani is who we've got to watch for, but I just I've got a funny feeling 5:30 on Saturday. By 7:30 on Saturday, we could be third in the league, and I really think it's going to happen.
Hope so, mate. Good to be positive, eh?
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Nick, what's your prediction?
Similar to Russ, I think I was going to go for 3-1. So, yeah, why not? We can do it. I didn't think I thought we'd bottle it a little bit of going fifth, and we obviously didn't. We got a little bit lucky, but now we got a chance to go third. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Tom, what's your prediction?
I'm going to go 1-1, Jake. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one, mate. Man United obviously going to be up for it after their defeat last night, so they're going to be raring to go. And they've got fresh legs to come in, like Pogba came off the bench last night. They got players. Greenwood come off the bench, so he'd possibly start for them. It'd be interesting to see Rashford. It would be a big miss for him because he's playing with some serious confidence and he's a big threat. But I think we'll definitely get 1 goal. But I'm putting money on a draw, mate. Yeah. Which I wouldn't be disappointed with, to be honest. We've beaten the last 2 seasons at home. We've beat them, so let's see, mate.
Yeah. I'm really confident. I do think we're going to go out there and win, but I would take a point as well. We're high flying. Who cares really? We're going to win. But that's going to wrap things up. Russ, Tom, Nick, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Make sure you go to my MS11.
Thanks, Jake.
Subscribe button. And thank you for coming on, boys. Thanks, Russ.
No problem. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, buddy.
Well done, Russ. Cheers, Jake.
Take care, lads. See ya.
Cheers, boys.
Bye.
Bye. And that's it. Yes, that is it. That's another week done. Talk about football, episode 4. Tick. Yeah. We've had some great guests on tonight. Hopefully Ben Glander coming on in the next couple of weeks. That would be good. And a huge thank you to Russ for coming on tonight. Make sure you go over there and hit the subscribe button to my Hammers 11. But yeah, we just got a couple of comments we need to go through before I go. Evening, Liam. Hope you are okay. And a huge thank you. I've been putting up every now and then to SRM Construction. The link's in the description down below. Thank you for your help. And as I said at the start, Monday night we've got another a very special video with Neil Taylor from Long Live the Bowling. Our video with Danny Van the Bowling Poet has gone over 500 views in the last couple of hours. So thank you. As you can see down the bottom, 325 subscribers. We are trying to hit 350 subs by the end of the year. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that as we are on the road to 350 subscribers. I will see you on the weekend for some coverage for West Ham versus Man United. We've had some great guests on tonight yet again. I have been Jake Cox from West Ham Unofficial, and I will see you next time on A Big Talk About Football.